Hey guys, it's Wednesday evening. We're watching paint dry. Just painted right around here. Got this new shelf installed. That'll be for binoculars and keep it handy sailing gear. What's going on in here? Here's the pilot berth. We got the beginnings of the edging put on. Did a really nice cut here. Got my 45-degree turn, but I cut this one an inch too big. So hopefully I can go back to the neighbor's apartment and use the chop saw that we found there again. And we'll take you outside. I've done a bunch of cosmetic fine-tune repair stuff. When the mast came down a few years ago, it was banging on the side of the boat here, so it got taken care of in a boatyard, but it was wintertime. They didn't do a very good job. They just kind of superficially threw some goo on there. So I've taken the time to do it right, so all this mast area will get painted tomorrow. Okay, so we tackled this today. These are the braces that help hold the beams out. You can see all this nasty paint bubbling that's happening. So this system hasn't worked. It's Interlux primer on top of the aluminum. Well, first I did the West Systems aluminum etching kit stuff, and I've talked to other people, just not having success with that. So we got to do something different. Big decision to make whether, once I take these off, are we gonna coat them in epoxy and paint them, or have to go back to Phoenix or San Diego to an anodizer, or they could get powder coated here in Puerto Penasco. Kind of leaning towards let's just epoxy and paint them, and knowing that may only be for a year or so, and in the next haul out schedule it to arrange for probably anodizing, and then maybe some paint over the top of that. Okay, we're just going around catching that. These little holes, not sure if I told you already, they're going to be for a rope grab handle. This guy saw the ladder earlier. Rotor got painted, that looks good. The windlass area. Jeez, you know, every little thing. So there was one bolt in the anchor roller that it was a long one, went all the way through, and of course it was dripping rust down below the bottom side of this wing. So I did it right, went in here, cut a hole underneath. I'm not even, well, here, I'll stick the camera down there. There you go. Cut that hole, so now you can get your hand in there for backing. And I got the nuts in. So like that little thing took at least an hour. And sadly I got to take the windlass off because I've never done any maintenance on it, and the clutch is frozen up, so it's probably gunked up in there. Must be some regular maintenance process. It's not listed in my manual. And then we made a date for Monday, this is Wednesday, to unstep the mast so we can do the repair we need up at the top to the sail track. I'm just not willing to do that work climbing up there. I need to bring this down and inspect it for real, and probably tap new holes, and it's worth $250 to have it brought down with a crane, and then I have time and do any painting if we want, any other upgrades. And then I think I'll attack these braces tomorrow. I did want to take these and these off at the same time, but this is not going to happen until next week, so I think in the next couple of days through this weekend, get these tubes pulled off and cleaned up and repainted. We were scraping the barrel of the primer and got the steering stick. This is for Chris Harvey. Chris will like this. So there's a joint right here. The old stick you really couldn't leave the cockpit. You were sitting on the edge up on the winches. So this new, it's at about a 30-inch piece, will help sit comfortably out on the beam. So you can see the paint's looking pretty good up here. And the back end of the boat got first coat today. Looks pretty good for first coat. Yeah, we're doing fine. Unfortunately, I'm running out of white paint because I also need to do this. You can see this has been sanded out compared to what's the rest down there. So I gotta need to get another quart sent down here to Mexico or the Arizona border, and I'll drive up to the mill, stop and get it. Okay, keep going. Time to put the port's in for real. This one just got bedded. We're going to do this together. Put this one in. And this is a unofficial product endorsement. Nothing to do with this company, but this stuff is fantastic. marinehowto.com BedIt tape. This is old school stuff. Wasn't available for a long time. I used to use it in boat building. 30s, 40s, 50s. It kind of went out of favor because everybody wanted caulk, squeeze tube caulk. I guess this does take a little bit longer, but it's totally worth it. So watch how this goes. So this formula is nice and thin, easy to work. It's pretty hot out right now, so it's not getting all gummy the way the RV kind does. This lets me lay it in the channel here. There's just no caulk mess. This will last, longer than me. If you watch the guy's video, they show taking apart 40-year-old boats with this stuff. It looks brand new. So I'm putting it down in the caulking channel. Single layer. Then we're going to fold it over and give it a second layer. My screws are pretty long, so no problem putting a little bit more fill in here. And we're going to stretch it out because we don't want too much in here. There is a butyl tape applied. So we're going to put these in. We're going to tighten them snug but not crazy and let the butyl work its way into final position before we do a hard tighten. Make sure it hinges on the top. Press it in place. There we go. It's that easy. And I'll do the final one. It's Sunday morning, Valentine's Day. Welcome to a big northern wind. It's calmed down a little bit now, and we've had gusts up in the 30s. This is my day to de-rig because the mast is going to get unstepped tomorrow. So I've got the main off this morning. And before I take the boom off, we're going to figure out the new Cunningham system. So I think I got it all sorted out here. So be sure to check it out on the Harkin website, how to reeve 6-to-1 blocks. That was very helpful. So what we're going to do is have a fixed line that will splice right onto these eyes. It's going to come up, it's going to go through the tack of the sail, come down the other side, and let's come through this ring, back to the sail again, tie down the deck. So when we pull, we're pulling the sail down and forward. And I've had other systems where it's been straps around the mast, and the block and tackle has been chewing all this up. So I think now we're going to get it away. We're ready to go with that. So we're going to take the boom off now. Great boom, super strong so far. The whole thing is 40 pounds, nice and light. You can paint it. We run all our lines inside here. You can get to them. After we finish the main side, then we gotta take the jib off, paint the neck to all those little hanks on the front, take the bowsprit off, and then we're gonna bring the dagger control lines, take off this whole dagger control block system, take the mast base, comes off of these 4 acorn nuts. So today I gotta get all the halyards off, tied up to the mast, and remove the rotation controller. So we still got some time. You can hear the wind in the rigging. See this boat over here? They're stripping all of the gel coat off. Husband and wife team from Switzerland in their 30s. They're just going for it, getting this boat all cleaned up. Pretty big job. Solar panel feet are on. This took like half of yesterday. These are the old solar panel mounting holes. And all of these are the new places. There's 4 feet per panel, 2 screws per foot. That was done all over. You can see the ones up front. Had to do a really strong, super job here to make sure we've got a good base to screw into. I'm going to put little fiberglass circle patches over the tops of all these today after we get the rig unstepped. Still, this is not a good painting time because it's so windy, so more days are slipping by without getting paint done. That's frustrating. Oh well, keep going. Okay, Monday morning the guys came with the crane and unstepped the mast. Let you know what we're going to be doing. First up, easy one, put a proper mount for the vane. It's going to stick out the back here. But this is why we dropped the mast in the first place. Look under here. See that? Busted, busted, busted. Not enough of the tides clips. They're supposed to be doubled up at the high load points. But our sail hasn't been going all the way to the top because it was cut a little bit short. So we're going to redo this, put more of these clips, double them up all the way along here. So the whole track will slide down. That's one thing we're doing. We'll do a full rigging check, but I think everything looks good on the surface. Actually, that's it for the mast. It's just dirt. I think we got a little bit of cosmetic stuff. Yeah, a little cosmetics here around the gooseneck. Some troubles we were having before. You guys get a peek inside the mast. This is that big foot we built. If you want to see how this mast was built, go back on the cartersboat.com and look at September 2018 when I was in the build shop passing back in Massachusetts. Replace these bolts, make them something prettier. And we're gonna do some boom work. I'm starting that today, so I'll film for you guys now. Got cosmetics here in this end. This matches the scuffs in the mast. Little problem right there from originally I had a winch here to do the, that was reefing. Yeah, that didn't work at all. Now reefing comes down, comes out these new sheaves here, and goes down and back to the cockpit. So the big job on the boom is to do a third reef. So 2 reefing lines are in there. The reef clue comes out to here, so we're going to come back right around in this area and drop in a new shib box. I'll show you that over the next few days. And the original main shib box back here had this little line for the topping lift to hold up the boom when it's stored through these little holes that wasn't strong enough. It busted through. So we're just about to take all this apart, fix this, fill these holes back in, and put in proper dividers that I never got around to, and get rid of some of this fairing cracking here, and put a stronger line on. Also put a Kevlar pad right here because this is where the sail's clue ring, as it tends to dig into the boom sometimes. It's a carbon boom. It was the carbon fiber mast off of Corsair 37. Some of you know which boat that was. This rig came down just outside of San Francisco Harbor, and a new aluminum rig went on that boat. So I took this 17 feet of that mast, thanks to Rick, and did a whole bunch of work. Had to chop off the bottom of the section here. You can see this for the missing V with the sail track on it. But by removing that section, we got this thing down to the appropriate 40 pounds for a carbon 17-foot boom with this strength. And then I added back these little ladder pieces you can see down the line. And so all of our rigging for reefing and the outhaul run inside the boom. See some of that? So you don't have to see it when you're underway, which is great. It all tucks up under there, but it's easy to get to and work on. It's Monday afternoon. The morning was taken up by lowering the mast and getting the dagger out and all that. I also brought the main out, was measuring it to make sure we put the third reef in the right spot. So here's what we're doing. This is the shiv box at the front of the boom. It's upside down right now, where the three reefing lines drop down to the deck. And now if we go about 12 feet back here, there's the new box and the shiv in there. And here, this is now the top of the boom. You guys can see we made a slit in the boom. I drilled 2 holes and then used the jigsaw to connect the 2 holes and smoothed out a nice slit there. This is the way it looks on the front of the mast too, for bringing the jib halyard exit. I'm pretty happy because I just had to locate the pin here. So it turned out that the hole centered was exactly 4 inches below the top of the boom, actually the bottom of the boom. So it came down 4, centered it left and right. Just drilled these things out and it landed right smack dab in the middle. And it's working. You can see the line's going to run. This is the third reef line. It's going to run straight out this direction, out the top of the boom down here, and on to the clew of the sail. So, straighten this out. We're going to tack glue this box down inside the thing here while it's still pinned. So that way the pin placement will be perfect. And tomorrow, after that glue is set up, we'll do carbon taping in here and probably add some foam core down here to permanently bond that thing in place. It worked out pretty well. I'm pretty happy with that hole drill. Good Tuesday morning, you guys. I'll start the day inside with a little bit of trim work. Just mixed up some epoxy. We're gonna get this sealed up. This is the corner piece. I made this edging bar at home and brought it down. But of course we didn't have the corner cuts done. I was able to borrow a chop saw at the apartment complex where the boat neighbor is staying. Thank you to Barry on Boomerang for providing use of his landlord's saw. I tried cutting 22.5 degree angles here by hand. That didn't work. Thankfully I had enough practice wood. So the rest of this whole thing's sanded and epoxied already and final finished, but I had to sand back the finish here at the joint. I think that's about as far as that went. Just rubbing this epoxy in nice and hard. Give that a sand tomorrow. There, it's going to look all like one. Nice. Okay. We're going to switch over. Use this. This is cool because I was shopping at Friedman's in Petaluma, big home improvement garden center. And I'm leaving and going through COVID protocols, and door clerk asks, hey, do you want anything out of the free basket? And they have this can in there. I think the only reason it was free is the seal's a little messed up. But once I got this opened up, brand new can, and it's like a miracle. Wipe on poly finish. Actually had this during the whole build. Literally just take a rag and wipe it on. There are a lot of other products that do that, but this one does not leave any streaks. Yes, it hasn't a couple times I've used it so far. That is great. Have to refinish some of this wood. Both sides of the boat here, where these original fixed headlights had been leaking some. Of course, it's screwed up our wood finish. This trim piece comes from the other side. We'll see that in a minute. I know what you're asking. What does this have to do with sailing a boat? Not much, but it is our home away from home. I want it to be warm and inviting in here. A little reminder of the forest when we're out on the sea. Okay, no comments back about the complete mess. Sorry, but it's a work site, not a house right now. Actually, it's both. Okay, today's work is going to be daggerboard. See, we did a little grounding when we were trying to find the good anchorage at Isla Partida back in September. So this is the underwater epoxy repair. You guys remember that from the video a few sessions back? Stuff that Colin dove down and put on. We'll sand this back, clean up whatever dings are inside there, or do a little more glass. And then also, this is the leading edge underwater right into the hull. There's been a little bit of impacting down there, so I'll reinforce that a little bit. It looks like I need to raise the bottom paint water line. Interesting. There was sort of a guess how deep this goes, so I'll put it up to about here. So we jammed on the boom yesterday. Here's that shiv box for the third reef. Can you guys see the carbon lay-in down there? Today I will build a little bridge up here to support what's the bottom of the box. The boom's upside down right now, and the lines will pass through around here. So we'll support that, bridge that in. We patched up all the holes. There were some extra holes in the side of the boom because we've ended up having to move where the lazy jacks lie. So they were closer together, and now they're further apart. So these two more central ones got patched up. That looks good. So we did a little patching in the shiv box in the back where I had tried to hang the outhaul. But this is what I wanted to show you. So the main sheet straps come, the boom's upside down now, so the sail comes here with the clue ring, and the straps go around the boom from the main sheet to the sail. We actually don't attach the sheet to the boom at all. It's to the sail, but the boom is trapped in the strapping. And there's a little bit of flex here in the boom, so we did this big old carbon uni reinforcement ring last night. Let's see how it came out. So instead of vacuum bagging, a lot of times we'll just use tape. Okay, that tape took forever to unwind, so we'll stop this here. Here's a little teaser photo of how the daggerboard came out. We'll look at that next time. I'm real happy with the way that fairing job went. And I know things are bouncing around in this video, but that's kind of how the work project's going. Working on like 5 or 6 different things every day. So welcome to my crazy reality. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already.